Oh yeah, we already talked about
Hey, let's take a minute.
Let it play for a minute. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. How you doing? Welcome to the House of Static. And I'm Bob. Nice to meet you, Bob. Otherwise known as the Static Dive. With me today and every time we do this. Live from New Jersey is Alexandria Tava. Say hello, Alexandria.
Oh, hello, Static Dive.
There
And
you go.
who's
Yeah.
this fine fellow?
And yes, and on the West Coast, our dear friend, Mr. Kilo House, our partners in many different ways.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
I was
see
gonna
that
say
I'm
my
already
partner in-
under. Are
Well, I
you
was
putting
gonna
me
say, like-
under the bus already?
Okay, good.
Because I just
No,
get
I was just
going.
what I normally say. I usually say some version of like my partner in business and music or something like that, because we own a record label and we make a lot of music together.
This
But
is
then I
good.
thought, well, like, you're also Alex's partner in, love. So, so there you go.
Oh, Josh,
We got Josh the intern.
Josh,
All right. Josh, the intern, he's connecting. There he is.
Time from the hospital. No, I'm just kidding. We're live, Josh. Welcome.
Yeah, you're
Welcome to the
live
podcast.
on the interwebs.
This is great. I love this. Couldn't have been better.
Yeah, that was fun. All right. So, how you doing? Welcome to the
It
House
was
of
all
Static.
planned, by the way, guys. This is Josh the intern. He does stuff with us. Would you like to explain, Alex, how we know Josh?
Sure. Josh is a music education major at NJCU. Yeah. And he is doing an internship at Choose Love Music, and Choose Love Music and the House of Static has built a collaborative partnership with one another. So now Josh the intern has more than one parent. Yes.
Yes, you have numerous parents, Josh. Congratulations. You're just
That's
setting
awesome.
up right now. So what were we talking about before? Wonderful intern.
Well, we were really just introducing the show, which was I was
Okay.
doing, saying hi, Bob from New
Oh, he
York,
took the
Alex from New
pressure off
Jersey,
the bus that I
Keela
was
from
on.
LA, right? And then I teased you both about being in love.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I deserve the teasing because I was a Grinch before and I had a stone heart. So the teasing is perfectly fine, Bob. I
There you
expected
go.
it from
Anyway.
way more people.
No, well, anyway, I'm just having fun, and we're all incredibly happy about the union. So there's no real teasing going on. It's awesome.
Oh,
Bob, I
like
have
it.
to point out, I noticed that your background, the area where the phantom purple
Oh yeah.
is
The-
now
the-
gone. Can you
That's
explain?
amazing. That's awesome. I moved things around a couple of hours ago, and I was wondering, like, nobody's gonna notice that, but I guess you guys
I
did. So
well,
yeah, so
I
that's a
did
cool
not.
story. Okay, well, Alex did. So that's kind of a cool story. So what I had there before was just like a table with a curtain over it, just kind of, and I had my guitar stuff on it. And my amp would go kind of up or down on it, but it was kind of a pointless table. And actually now it's over in the corner holding my printer.
Oh,
And so what that is in its place, it was in another room, but it's called a piano organ, piano RGAN, right? A piano organ. And
oh.
excuse me, it's Italian. It's from the 60s, right? And I literally I was driving home where I live, upstate New York. So I was driving home from Lake George, coming back to Queensbury where I live. And on the side of the road, there's always, summertime, there's always some kind of garage sale or yard sale going on in, people's neighborhoods and such. And so I always stop because I look for instruments. I want to see if there's any cool electronic stuff or cool musical
So
stuff. That's
You're
always
hoarding
looking for those things.
trash instruments. Got it. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I constantly.
No,
Oh my
I
God,
want
yeah.
that. I want that. I'm joking. That thing is sick.
It's cool. Yeah. So what it is, and it's from like the 60s. I got it for $30 and it's in perfect condition. It's this
Really?
beautiful little.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You do a little, yeah. You can't just talk about it. You got to do a little ditty. talking about
Well,
teasing.
it's pretty. I don't know if you'll hear it from there, but we'll try it. I'll
Probably
I'll,
not, but who cares?
Well, I'm gonna when I walk over there, I'll crank the mic up a little bit so you
Yeah.
can hear it. But it looks like a little mini piano. It says it's called a piano organ, but what it sounds like is an accordion. It's because you can. I don't know if you can hear the air blowing in it, but it's got the buttons on it just like an accordion and everything. So let me turn it.
That's
check it.
bad to the bone.
Josh, you were talking earlier about.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
You can hear that? All right. So it's got chord buttons over here, just like an accordion. So I mean,
Whoa.
Fire right there. I want one of those.
Kilo,
What?
take a track and have it in this
Yeah.
key organ thing.
Organ?
Organ.
All right. Anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty
that's
cool.
that little thing, and I got it for $30 at a garage sale. So that was
That's
pretty cool.
Rad.
Well,
It's way too noisy to record though, which is so it really serves no
yeah,
purpose.
you
And
could
it's not
hear
even.
them.
Yeah, because you could hear that's there's a fan blowing in it all the time, and that's what makes the sound, and that's why it sounds like an accordion. It's just a crazy, weird little instrument.
That's so
But
cool.
yeah, and it's not even like good to play. The keys are small, and
So it's just
kind
a
of clumsy.
So it's like my headphones and microphone used to be. It's just a decoration.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, it's a cool thing to have. It's like it's a 60-year-old Italian weird piano, organ or whatever it is, standing accordion.
Yeah,
So-
vintage instruments are cool, especially like if you take a deep dive into like the saxophone world, like everything is about like the vintage stuff. Like I've played on a Barry, the school's Barry that we have here is like from 1940 something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and like my teacher brought in a old, I think it was a Con from like 1920. The
Oh, wow,
weirdest
that's
thing, split bow, like you hurt your hands to play, but it played different. Like there's something
Yeah.
about those older instruments that
It
they just
played
sound different.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, I mean, a lot of stuff was a lot more handmade back then, so like, when you've got manual intervention in the manufacturing process, every piece basically becomes unique. Everything that gets made is a little bit different than the one before and the one after, whereas an assembly line machine the robots literally make exactly
Right.
the same thing over and over again. So
So-
everything was different back then.
I have a question. It doesn't have to be the question game starting now, but I have a question for everyone to answer. What's your favorite instrument or your dream instrument? Like if you could have any instrument all to yourself, what would it be and why?
Oh, this is hard.
Well, like now you mean like a specific
Anything.
like a specific guitar or something or
It
just
can be. Hey Bob, you're the one that says however you.
oh yeah,
interpret
we
the
interpret the
question.
questions ourselves, right? Yeah, however we interpret the question. All right. Well, I mean something fun and historic I would want, like what the remnants of Jimmy's guitar at Monterey or something like that, that would be cool, a lot, just shrapnel from a Jimmy guitar. That's what I would like.
That's good.
What about you, Alex?
To right now, this is what I want. Tomorrow it might change, but right now I really want a crystal harp, a crystal lyre harp. Have you guys ever seen that?
You showed me one.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
It's so cool.
Like it's made of crystal, like
It's
it's not
made
an
of
actual
crystal.
harp, like a.
It's not this type of harp. They call it the harp, but it looks like a xylophone, but it kind of
Oh, cool,
starts
bro.
small and then goes up like in a upside down pyramid shape, and
Right.
you hold it like a violin. And
That's crazy.
with this wand, because everything is crystal, so you have to be very delicate, and you play it, and you could play it in hitting the different points of the crystal and plays different pitches.
Show a picture, Bob.
That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah,
Okay,
that's.
cool.
I really
that's how
want that. And you can put LED lights in it, so you could be like all beautiful and divine femme, and then have like LED lights.
All right, here we go. I'll.
That's
Okay.
They run like 3,000, so it's not like
Oh,
It's not like a
I know.
birthday present. Yeah.
I'm like
Right.
trying to get that monthly
Oh,
payment.
I've found a good picture of one here. So let's see. We'll share the screen. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
oh,
I want
And
one.
then we can blow it up a little bit too.
Yeah. Well, don't blow that up with Jimmy's guitar, Bob. Come on.
Yeah, right. So and then well, let's see how much does this one cost? $1,100.
So that one's less.
I mean,
Maybe
that's
the one with LED lights is the 3.
Yeah.
you can get $30 off right now.
dollar fucking energy lights.
But I mean, is it actually crystal? It must be for that much money. I mean,
Well, the ones I've seen are maybe this. I don't know.
yeah, I mean,
This
Maybe
one's way
I
cheaper.
should read the description probably.
Yeah, it's
But-
crystal quartz, bro.
Crystal
Yeah.
tubes, yeah, the crystal tubes. That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
because
That's
they
really
use
cool.
it in sound healing, and a lot of why, like my sound bowls are all quartz crystal, and I know that how they make it, like sound bowl making was an ancient art where they would do it in a way with the heat to get the perfect sound of it, and I'm assuming that's the same thing with the harp, that they're
Right.
like doing it with the.
That's so
And once again, every single one is going to be different. Every crystal tube is going to
Right.
be a little different than the other one. You know what I mean? So each instrument, each
Mhm.
instance of a crystal harp is going to be unique. That's pretty cool.
What about you, Josh?
Ooh, I mean, honestly, can you guys hear me okay?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
You sound better
um,
than all of us. Good job.
No, recently, like, there's these guys on Instagram and they just play like a bunch of old Wurlitzers. And
Mhm.
like it seems so cool, and they just have like all of them running through pedals, and they find like the old like manuals and old blueprints, and they're saving them all. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, it would be so dope to get like my hands on one of those, like an original one.
That's
It's like
cool.
all clanky, and like you can just put pedals through it and play with it. I think that would be really cool. At least that's
Yeah.
what I want now.
How many?
I don't know what that'll turn into.
A buddy of mine collects vintage electric pianos and organs and such. My buddy Joe Barrows, he used to play in a band with me, and he's my cover band, and he's a cool guy. But yeah, he's got a lot. You'd love it. You know, he shows up at gigs, and he's got, it looks like the keyboard section looks like 1969. It's real cool. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Josh, how many instruments can you play?
Well, like I can play or play well, because
Okay, can play. Can play.
Mhm.
That's
so like part of my like degree is actually learning all like the families. So I took
Oh,
a
really?
semester on strings. So I learned a little bit of cello. My
Yeah.
favorite was probably like brass, like playing trumpet and trombone was pretty fun.
Mhm.
And then like I learned like the winds, but like the two that I mainly play now is probably just saxophone and piano. I'm really trying to get good at piano now, because I slept on piano for so long because it's such a unique and diverse instrument, and it goes through
Mhm.
all the genres.
Yeah.
So
That's basically been the last 5 years of my life as a songwriter has been forcing myself to write on, well, originally forcing myself, and now I just naturally write on piano, because same reason. I always, I knew I could look at a keyboard and I could always know, I knew what I should play, but my hands wouldn't do it because I never played enough, so I had to train myself to be a better player.
Yeah.
So it was worth it. It's fun. It's
Well,
rock.
that leads very well into what mine
Hey,
is.
Kilo, yeah, I was going to say you didn't answer.
No, I want a very nice grand piano that I can fuck up as much as I want with weird things, so that I can
I
like
did want to take.
waterlog it and see what it sounds like to record that, or like, like bend, like just make really strange things happen with this
Mhm.
piano, and then like keep those things broken in that way if I like it sounding like that in certain parts of the piano, so I can like record this here and then
Mhm.
this like crazy like horror sound down here, and then up
Mhm.
here it's like super pretty, like try putting powder on the whatever thing you call it, or whatever, like meaning a piano I can do anything I want to just to see what happens.
That's
Right.
cool.
That's a cool idea.
you
Yeah.
should definitely
I'm gonna
check
film
out
it.
prepared pianos.
What is that?
Those are basically, it's not like to the as far as like you want to push it, but they
Mhm.
take screws and they put it in different
Wow.
parts of the strings, and it makes these weird sounds and like different pitches in some instances.
Awesome.
So the piano just doesn't sound like a piano. It's just like goo 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 goo
Oh,
goo 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 goo.
I wanna
That's
do
right
that.
on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like it's like acoustic industrial sounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
That's
cool.
awesome.
I have an affinity for piano sound. Like I grew up with a baby grand. My dad had a baby grand, like, I don't know, like the den or whatever. So I grew up with him like playing blues songs and like singing funny things to us and stuff. So the piano to me is what an instrument really, really sounds like.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people agree with you on that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guitar and the piano are like the guitar with around the campfire and the piano like around. Come on, everybody, let's go.
You know
Well,
what's
that's really, yeah.
Like Billy
it's-
Joel.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like
Are we
instruments that
starting
you
a
can-
cult? Okay.
No, but you're right. But like instruments you can play chords on, instruments that can
Right,
that can
right.
hold a song on their own, and they got, like you said, guitar and piano are like the two main and popular culture anyway.
So
That's
there's
amazing.
this documentary that Alex told me about that I watched recently called Score, and it's on, am I right? It's on YouTube, right? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I
watch
just
the whole
clicked on the thing and I watched it like a good
Mhm.
boyfriend. But and it's really cool because it starts out with this team of guys using like a piano strings to tune the wind sound that they're using in a movie. I was like, I want that for my life. Like you're tuning the wind for a scene in a movie by putting a piano up there, like playing a note and letting it ring out and then recording the wind and stuff.
I
Like I'm
love
like,
it.
that's amazing.
That's
Isn't that really
insane.
great?
Yeah,
We'll send
yeah,
it
that's
to you,
right up
Josh.
your alley there, isn't it, Josh? That's
Yeah,
the
that's
kind of
really
thing you do.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Like you ever see those weird instruments like the lion's roar, where they take like a rope and they pull it through like a frame drum or something like that, and it just sounds like a
Oh, yeah.
lion. Like that
It-
stuff's really interesting.
I
Like
love
Foley.
doing stuff like
Yeah,
that.
well, I was
Yeah.
gonna say you'd like fully Disney has a big thing, well, I worked at Disney like a long time, like 30 years ago. When I was 21 years old, I worked at Disney World. And when I was there anyway, they had this thing we could go in and like they had like this real deal kind of awesome Foley stuff that you could just go and check out and play with and everything. You know what I mean? And it was very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, Foley is, and then like a whole documentary about what Foley is and everything. And what Foley is, if anybody doesn't know, it's the sound effects in movies, but it's the art of doing it. And the art of doing it is fascinating,
Right.
So like everybody knows the coconuts with the horses,
I know.
plop, plop, plop. But there's like so many other things. It's like, a punch, they'll have, drop a big bag of meat or whatever. It's all
right.
weird and crazy and,
Yeah.
fun stuff. Really
Fun fact, I think the T-Rexes in Jurassic Park, if it's true, they're actually just like koalas screaming.
That's
No.
awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
now I
God.
never
The T-Rex
to
is
the
a koala.
rainforest. Fuck that. Get this away from me.
That would be such a good debunked if they haven't done that on YouTube. I'm sure they have, but it's like this sound, but this is what's really happening,
Right.
There's a lot of that in the old, the original Star Wars too, because we talked about like, analogs, like back in the analog world, like
Yeah.
Star Wars, when it came out, like nothing had ever looked like that, and still, if you go back and watch the original Star
Oh,
Wars, like, how the heck did they do it? Because it was the same technology they were using in all the other movies. They just did it so much better.
Yeah.
And anyway, the reason I bring it up is because the Foley in that movie is really fascinating too. I saw some another behind the scenes documentary or something, and it's like, one thing, like one of the spaceships zooming by is like an elephant roaring, and it's like, and there's all these
Oh,
sounds that,
Yeah.
and like they'd hit like the wire that holds telephone poles, they'd hit that and it would get a certain bang, and that was like the sound of a laser. It was cool, really cool.
There's a YouTube channel where this guy kind of goes around and does weird jobs and stuff. And he went once and did the sound effects makers for Mortal Kombat. And they were making him, he got to do some of the like blood and gore sound, which was awesome because it was just like, I guess, bananas and like big like melons of some sort being like hit with a hammer and then like squeezed and stuff to make like the
Yeah,
that's
no,
awesome.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, that's awesome because they were using natural things to make natural sounds. I wouldn't
Yeah.
know how to make a blood sound with Ableton.
Mhm.
Right. Right.
Very
I mean,
hard to do.
And
I
that's,
was just. Oh, go ahead, Alex.
oh no, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, I wonder if I mean, we all think this is like super fascinating. You know what I mean? I wonder if everybody does. Like, but I mean,
Probably
we're a
not.
bunch of, we're a bunch of sound nerds, right? You know, so like the idea of like, they do what with an orange to do that?
Right?
That's amazing. You know,
Yeah,
I could do
I
that
didn't
all day
think of that.
long, squeeze an orange and record it, you know?
Right?
It's just-
That's that is our morning. It's like coffee for one and Ableton.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
it is.
So
Yes,
I
it
wanted to also like with talking about what tools to use for sound. I love like 8-bit. We used to use like take our Nintendo, our Game Boys, and like when I was a DJ, I had the Duck Hunt guns, and I used to like put like phasing sounds like. And there was this one group, I think they were actually called 8-bit, like when it first started. and
There's
they just
still a group
performed
called
off-
8-bit.
Yeah, they just performed off of their Game Boys and everything. I think
That's
that's
fine.
cool. You know?
I love, oh, sorry. I love using bit crushers because it's taking like a normal, good sounding sound and crushing it into like 8-bit. Like that's what we did in the intro song, Bob. We're using technically a bit crusher on that 808 that
Yeah.
sounded like in
Yeah.
the background, but it's like using
Yeah.
a different effect.
Yeah,
Like-
I like that our theme for the show because I don't know if anyone knows that, but the theme song is something that we Akilo and I think we did it before we did the show. We were just goofing around. No, we did it for the show.
Yep.
I don't remember. Well, I don't remember anything. But anyway, but it was cool. It's one of the earliest songs you and I wrote together, and I think it's
We never
it's
finished
It's
it.
awesome. I think it's great.
It's so
Want
awesome.
to
You
hear?
want to show it to Josh?
Yeah, go play it. I was just thinking Josh probably never heard, doesn't know what we're talking about. So maybe I'll play the tune for a minute here, because why not? All right, you should be able to hear this. If I turn the volume up. Hold on a second. All right. I've never done
we're
this. for me,
professionals.
Josh. Yeah, exactly. I've never once done anything like this correctly.
Hey, let's take a minute.
I love it. It's all crazy. It's like,
So fun.
now let's let it play. It's only like a minute long.
Not good, but really bad. Yeah.
There you go. It's that
that-
that couldn't be more like Bob and Kilo. If you listen to it, it's like
Yeah.
I'm playing piano and guitar, and Kilo's got the drums and the bass, and it's just like it's all bluesy and chill, and me on the piano and the guitar. It's jazz and blues, and then Kilo doing crazy ass trap stuff on top of it. It's
I don't even
awesome.
think that's trap, Bob. It's just like the weirdest off time rhythm I've ever made. Like when
I
you
love it.
turn the music off, that beat makes no sense. You can't follow it. But with the music, you can
It
follow
works,
it
yeah.
perfectly.
and then you got those, those low 808 basses like rumbling the bottom too. It's just great.
And
I
that
love it.
humming sound is the bit crusher on the bass. That's just like being pitched up, and
Oh,
it's not
Yeah.
all the way wet, so you still hear the bass coming through, but it's like going up and down, being automated up and down some part of it. I don't remember. Josh
That's
is
awesome.
making an insane face down there.
I can't. How do you know? We can't see his face.
He's like,
Where are you, Josh? That you're wearing a mask.
Oh, I'm just in my the lounge for my school, like in the
Ah.
dormitories.
Yeah.
Because my room has way too much reverb and it just picks it up, and I get really annoyed by that.
Right.
Just,
Right.
just me personally. Like I tried
Right.
plugging in my Yeti the last time we did this,
Mm.
and all I heard was the AC just going,
Mhm.
and I was just like, okay, maybe not in the same room this time.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So
Yeah,
I
well, I was just wondering about the mask because I've noticed that masks are required a lot more lately.
yeah.
What?
in a
Oh,
lot of
it's just
places.
because I was feeling a little sick over the weekend, And it's just like a precautionary thing for like other people, just in case.
Sure,
Because
yeah.
I don't want to get anyone else but the flu. Because a lot of people have been getting sick recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I had COVID about a month ago.
I've never had a
First
flu
time I ever
shot
had it.
ever in my life.
Right. I've only had a flu shot a couple times.
Yeah, I've
but
only had the
but
flu shot once,
COVID, I
too.
had I got all like 1, 2, and 3 vaccines. I was fully
I
vaccinated.
got
and I
1,
got
2,
it.
and 3 COVIDs. I mean, no COVID. I got 2 vaccines and 1 COVID. There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
I had
So-
COVID twice. I
Yeah,
had
COVID
Are
COVID.
we?
twice.
Are we?
I had COVID twice because I was silly. I went to Miami, and then I like.
Got Miami COVID and New Jersey COVID. Got.
Yep, I'm that girl. No, I'm not. I'm not. No, but I was like totally fine the whole trip, and then I walk into the airport. And I'm like, I'm completely fucked right now. And I walked into the plane, and everyone's disgusting, and I felt like, ugh. And then I got,
Oh,
yeah.
you were already feeling bad before you even got on the plane then.
No, I was fine. And then I walked into the airport, and there it was just like you know how have you ever been to Vegas? It's like there's nice parts of Vegas, and there's like the party hardy. It's Miami's like that too. So I had a lot of I have a lot of tech friends that new money tech friends from NFTs. Like a lot of people bought real estate down there. So I was down there, and I was like over here, but then there's like young, crazy party Miami vibe. So I walk into the airport, and it was all like crazy young party vibe, completely not paying attention to what they're doing at all.
Right.
And I knew I walked into a den of like infestation of everything, germs.
Right.
The
So
den
you-
of
so-
infestation.
Right.
That's a rock band.
It's just for reference, when you say like Vegas party area, you're talking like the Strip, right?
Yeah,
You're right. And then and you're talking South Beach, probably in
Yes,
Miami.
yeah.
Right. All right. There you go.
Yeah. But
Just wanted to
you
clarify
go
for
off
the
of South
audience.
Beach, and there's like a lot of really cool spots. So
Yeah.
I like to.
I
Anyways,
spent my 40th birthday in South Beach.
oh
I
yeah.
spend my 40th birthday in the future.
Yes, that's fair. As will you all. So,
Bob, do you know about Waywood?
do I know about Waywood? No, I don't know.
Yeah. So down in Miami, Waywood is like Florida's Brooklyn. It's all
Oh, okay.
blown out warehouses. Like a lot of the tech guys put the art, like underground art stuff there, and like just a lot of graffiti artists and like underground DJs, a lot of turntabling. I was really, really surprised that it was so cool that I even was like, when I went down there, when I was coming back, I was like, I'm moving. I'm going to move
Yeah.
there. It's nice weather. It has that
Mhm.
Brooklyn artsy vibe. And then
Yeah.
I'm really happy I didn't, because there at that time in January last year, 35,000 people from New Jersey changed their driver's license. And then the next month, something else happened, and then they raised, it was like a clusterfuck. So
A cluster.
Okay. Well,
anyways.
uh,
not Florida.
yeah, there. I've never been there. To was it Haywood? You're called? Was that
said-
the name of
Waywood.
Waywood? All right. But,
Clusterfuck, Bill? What? Nothing.
no, I was just gonna. A lot of the, like a lot of the major cities in the U.S. They'll have cool little like artsy areas like that. So I mean, back in the day, it used to be the Village in Manhattan, and now
Yeah.
it's Brooklyn. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
and then but like Dallas has Deep Ellum, which is a really cool
I've
place.
been
too.
there.
Yeah, that's Deep Ellum's a cool place, and it's just basically a bunch of blues clubs and rock clubs, and I mean, I was there a long time ago, probably over 25 years ago, probably, but it's groovy. There's all kinds. There's just a lot of there's I mean, even little like Sacramento, California. I've spent a lot of time, and they have this old town or old city, I think they call it. I forgot. the
I
name.
drove through there once.
Right. And they got like, it's just real kind of groovy and artsy and funky. I mean, it's not, it's not Greenwich Village, but it's cool.
I miss Greenwich Village.
Yeah.
I miss it so badly.
Might we play the card game now, Midim?
I don't know.
Sure. I just want to show this one piece of machinery, because when I go out to California to visit Kilo, I'm going to bring this. Does anyone, you guys know what this is? It's a machine.
I'm sure, yeah.
It's
so
native
fun
instruments,
to
right?
listen.
Yeah, and I
Mm-hmm.
want him to have fun. I think that he could make all these crazy noises and put the custom noises in here and then customize them again and
Yeah.
then save them.
Mhm.
So he can have his own Kilo sounds,
I
even though
want to
you
go
already
around
have your
awesome.
Kilo sounds.
recording our own sounds too, and then do that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, here's something Josh might really like that I had to do when I went to my schooling. We had to make an entire song out of sounds that we recorded around the school that weren't instruments. So we had to
Right.
take like our phone and like record a fuck ton of sounds, put them into Ableton, and then make a whole track out of the
Oh, I
sound.
like that.
Like
That's pretty
not like
cool.
a minimalist track or anything. Like I used like my scooter horn for the 808 because it's a sine wave. So you can just
Right.
put a bunch of distortion on sine wave and you have a good bass. Then like we threw like car keys at my scooter ramp. We like did a bunch of like
That's
kicked
awesome.
tires for the kick drums.
That's
Like,
cool.
because we could do it together. Obviously, we recorded a bunch of sounds together too, right?
Mhm.
We like recorded like a bunch of people talking because they couldn't talk for us, but it was a sound in the school. So we
Mhm.
recorded that and made it into type of like a singing pad type of thing. Like I think Josh would have loved doing something like that.
Mhm.
That actually sounds
awesome.
really cool. I had to do like something similar this semester, but not to that extent. It was like we were studying this old like idea called musique concrète, which was basically these guys would record on like analog old recorders like from the 1920s, 30s, and they
Yeah.
would record random sounds and then they would stitch them together in random way in like different ways, and it would just like repeat or like not repeat, and because they couldn't do anything else, they could only do
Right.
that and play it through the tape recorder.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it would just be
Awesome.
like they would get like random sounds from like a railroad station, put the whistle and then do different things, and you would hear it all out of in different orders and all that stuff.
That's awesome.
That's
I'm
super
just-
cool.
I was just looking for, I have a recording of my friends and I a long time ago using like just crazy crap all around our apartment as
That's so
Yeah.
basically everyone's done that at some
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Can we
Yeah,
just
yeah.
start this up? I
Charlie
want
Puth does it.
Start what?
sound
Oh, well, I don't know where it is.
sound safaris.
Sound safaris. Oh my God, that no one steal it. Trademark.
Hashtag sound safari.
So good.
So what that's a new thing we're going to do, a
Yeah.
sound safari.
We just made it up.
Alright.
It kind of
That's- I'm
reminds
down.
me, I want to tell our listeners that one of the three of us put out a new song recently. And I'm very proud of her. So you guys guess which one it is.
I'm like, who?
yeah. I was like, okay. So
Would you
thank
like to
you,
tell the
Kilo.
audience about the new song?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. No, okay.
You're welcome.
So I put out something called Transmission of Light 111. It literally is me channeling a transmission of very high frequency sounds and some of the divine feminine archetypes, and it's produced in Ableton, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's a little spiritual mix. So it's now available on all of the
Is
various
it finally
streaming
out or is it?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It is. I'll post it tomorrow on my social media.
Yeah.
And it's under Choose Love Music. So if people want to go there and hear it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And can I share what happened with our screens?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Are you talking? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna say
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, so Kilo is obviously the master of Ableton, and I'm not bad, but I'm not on his level. And I was channeling this, and this is the first time I did this first in front of anybody that wasn't like a licensed therapist or whatnot, or someone in the woo-woo world who was a teacher. So it was vulnerable. And long story short, I wanted to make certain parts of the track sound a certain way, and I didn't know how to do that. So he pulled it up on his Ableton, but to allow me to continue having creative control, he set up his computer to have me have control of the mouse. and he taught me how to do certain things. And I thought that it was just so awesome, first of all, because he was respecting me as a female in music. He was respecting me as his girlfriend, but then he was teaching me, and then it was just really cool to do that. And I got to use all of his plugins, and it was really, I don't know, I think it was.
And
it's
at the
really-
end of the process, you had a finished song that you released.
Yeah.
That's
And that
awesome.
was the thing. Both of us said, like, let's just do this now. And I said to him, I want to put it out tonight. And he's like, okay, do it. And then I almost cried like 3 times, almost 3 times.
I did cry 3 times.
And he's like, just do it. And then he went away for like an hour, and I'm using his Ableton from New Jersey.
Wow.
And then he came back an hour later, or 45. whatever.
That's some trust, 100%. You know,
Right?
here, you could have my computer. I'm just going to leave my house for an hour and
He
do
said
whatever I
that.
want.
Well,
That's-
I mean,
like
she's
no one
not
else.
gonna do any. What's she gonna do to my? I mean, I don't know.
most people wouldn't do it. It's a good thing
I'm
you did that.
sorry.
That's a nice, trusting.
Whoops.
That's a loving, trusting thing you did. I'm saying it's a good thing. Don't say
Good.
whoops.
I'm glad I did a good thing. Bob,
Yeah.
like,
Good job.
you never let me touch your Ableton.
I don't want to touch your Ableton, you weirdo.
Touch my Ableton.
Oh, what did he
Oh my
think? He
God.
goes, I'll only have one mistress, Ableton.
I did
No,
say that
I-
today.
you're right.
I said that today. So
Yeah,
I
it's
promise,
ridiculous.
only one. I said, if you come downstairs one night and I'm watching my computer, it's just the EQ dancing. to the music. 'Cause I
And what
love
does Bob's shirt
watching-
say?
Yeah,
Oh,
what
my
is it?
shirt. Yeah. And people can't read it because I'm, I like my weird mood lighting here. But hey, Google, make the lights white. And you're,
Google says, hey, Bob, fuck yourself.
yeah, really. Okay, then the white lights are white there.
Oh,
Sad.
so bright.
Have
Have
you
you
tried
tried
turning-
turning it off and on again?
I mean,
Right,
that's how
yeah.
I fix every
Hey,
fucking
Google, make the
problem,
lights
though.
light.
It is
light
true.
blue.
If
That's-
the Amazon Fire Stick doesn't work, you just unplug it, plug it back in, it works again.
Honestly, people have asked me for help
Make
with
the
like
lights
tech
light
stuff, and I'm
blue.
just like, did you unplug it?
You just say yes, and then you secretively just turn it off. and
Hey,
back on.
Google.
They're like, oh my God, you're so smart. Did you
Yes.
just tell Google to shut the closet?
I just turned the closet light off.
Turn the closet.
There's a closet
inside
right
out.
there,
Shut
and
the closet.
it's got a bright white light in it. And even when I'm hanging out in here by myself, I like to have a kind of a dim and like kind of colored lights. I
I'm
usually have
sure you
blue
do,
or
Bob.
purple. I think
Mhm.
right now it's purple. So I like that because
I like it too. It looks
Anyway,
Well,
nice.
it's
back-
conducive to a creative, vibe, for
Mhm.
me.
I have
Anyway.
Galaxy stars sometimes.
What's that?
So I have Galaxy stars sometimes.
That is
Oh, you had a
cool.
thing. You were just playing
Still
with the
has
thing.
a tumble.
You were playing with some light thing before we went live. What was that?
Oh, this is the LED, like the ring light. It's it's for social media. It's like,
Instagram light.
yeah, it's portable. It's for, us like social media people. But ready? Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, see, that's groovy.
Do you
Now,
want
is
me
that
to-
actually changing light in the room, or is that just doing it
No,
on the
it's just
computer?
a light that's
No,
like
it's
shining.
just let me show you. Ready? Look at this magic.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So you
yeah.
just you can clip it onto your computer, your laptop, and it's supposed to be for, it's made for influencers or whatnot, or I guess
Mm.
like podcasts, and it's just portable. So it changes with the different lighting the cool tones, it's cheap.
Right
It's
on.
like $25. So,
That's cool.
mhm.
Well, right on. There you go. Now we've covered our mood lighting. Oh, we should do the card game thing.
Oh, yes. Well, where did
I
Kilo
didn't
go?
know we were playing a game today. I'm a little lost.
Oh, it's not really a game.
Oh,
um,
okay.
Do you want to explain it, Alex? Or you want me to?
You explain it.
All
Yeah.
right. So the last couple of weeks, I'll explain it to both you, Josh, and our audience at large. And for the past couple of weeks, we've been doing a thing with Alex has this deck of cards with a bunch of famous people in them, mostly rock stars, sometimes spiritual leaders, sometimes political leaders, right? And then each has some sort of like, fun hippy dippy sort of woo woo, message to the recipient of the
Oracle
card.
cards, Bob. Get it right, or we're all fucked.
What is that?
They're called
What?
Oracle
They're-
cards.
they're called Oracle
cards
cards.
with musicians.
Yes, it's
That's
music oracle
actually
cards.
pretty cool.
Josh
Yeah.
is like, I like this.
And you know
I
Yeah.
what?
never even. So oracle cards are a thing, like a thing.
Oh, yeah, I
outside
have
of
a-
this game.
Yeah.
Not a game, Bob.
I didn't know that.
It's not a
All right, I
game,
don't. Yeah,
Bob.
I don't know. I'm asking. I'm asking for a friend who doesn't know anything about anything we're talking about.
And in 2023, our viewers are going to be able to click a link and buy these.
Oh, wow! Look at that.
Yeah, from our stuff. Yeah, I'll have a link where people who are watching the show, if they enjoy it and they want to buy these for themselves, they can just click that link and they'll be able to get them.
There
Very
you
cool.
go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome. Ring light.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah. Anyway, so we've been doing that. What we do is each of us picks one, and that's like our spirit guide or whatever through the rest of the episode.
Program.
Right. So and it's fun. So let's
Great.
commence. So what do we'll go start with our guest.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Do you
Start with
so
the
keep the one
intern
that we
guest.
pulled? So on accident, but not on accident, we pulled Bob's already.
Oh yeah, that's true. We
Bob
started with
still
that.
gets one on the show. It's funny how he picks
No,
it.
but
I love it.
Well, I like
I'll
the
pick
one that
Bob.
I got. That's right.
I'll pick
No,
Bob.
you know what? It's okay. We'll start over.
Should I
We'll
show
just start
everybody anyways?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so before the show started, Bob got Bob.
Mhm.
What are the
It
chances?
was funny.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. That's
So
fantastic.
so he can be the spirit guide of all of us.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But yes, Saint Marley is
Someday
watching
we
over
need
us
to
all.
make oracle cards out of all of my hairstyles.
Oh, 2024.
I'm joking.
Don't tell them.
Josh doesn't know me too well, but everyone
He's laughing. He knows you
my
enough.
hair looks different every fucking week, and it's not that I do different things. It's that my hair is moody and does what it wants.
The
So,
I think
first,
you just gotta
first
shave your
step-
head then.
No, I
I-
wanna
That's
do
how
it.
you get rid of it.
So Alex wanted Bob to shave his head earlier. Now Josh
Oh.
wants me to shave my head. I think we're going solo again, Bob.
But like Josh said, there's only room for one person with bald head.
Yeah,
There's
I'm the
also
only
There you
part. The only one.
one crippled person on this show. Thank you very much.
One female. Bob, you're
You're
all
just
put
Bob.
together.
Only one Bob Smith in the world of this podcast.
There's probably another Bob
That's
Smith on
a-
the street.
I said the
They're
world of this
everywhere. We're
podcast.
everywhere.
All right.
Anyway,
Okay,
let's go with the game here.
let's let Josh the
Josh.
intern, which is his actual name now. He changed it
Oh.
on his driver's license, by the way.
I
Yep.
actually put it on my social.
Oh,
Oh,
yes. Josh the
Sure.
intern.
Yeah. My
Watch
credit
out.
score went so far down after that.
It's because they don't know yet. See, the
If
flow
you
is
made
that you
that
have to
into
become
a
uncool to
character,
become
Josh,
cool.
that would be hilarious. Like Josh the intern is a character online now. Like
It
if
is-
you made that a thing or a t-shirt,
Yeah,
I could do that.
are going to.
yeah.
We're being very capitalist tonight. Everybody's got some product they're selling all of a sudden,
I-
right? When did
I
that
was
happen?
I will
joking
say
half
this.
the time.
Selling happiness if anyone wants some.
I will say
Smart.
this. At one point, I really did want to make like an Instagram for my sister's dog. Like I had a whole name for him. Like I had it all planned out, and then it just fell through because she decided to do it
Please
herself.
make Josh the intern. I will support this all the way because it's hilarious.
My girlfriend's daughter, who's really a good friend of mine, has one of those. She's got a pug with one eye, and it's Snickers. It's a great dog. But anyway, it's
What was that?
the I think online she's called Lady Snorts a lot,
Oh,
and she's
Ah,
oh, it's great. I mean, I've known the little dog, for years, and it's
Yeah.
awesome.
I
Awesome,
would like
great
to have the conversation we had with Josh earlier today on the podcast about how he has felt being an intern for Choose Love Music, just to kind of show our viewers how like we're trying to change the way people are treated within the industry. If everyone's down for that conversation again. No?
That's,
Yeah,
that's fine.
I think so. What Killer's talking about is that we were talking earlier in a meeting with the four of us about unrelated things, and started talking about the music industry and how awful it used to be, and how awful many parts of it still are, and how we're trying to do it differently. So that's
Yes.
really,
Well, right, but Josh got to see part of it from like the inside, not being
Sure.
one of the three of us.
Yeah.
So Josh, could you kind of say what you said earlier today?
No, yeah, it was just basically like I was kind of expecting, like I knew it wasn't going to be a regular internship, and in the beginning of the semester I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to get like as I just wanted to do as much as I could. Like I took extra courses I didn't need to do. I took this on, and I was just like, because I just wanted to learn and take advantage of the time that I had as a student before I moved on. And so what was cool was when Alexandria came in, I was like, oh, I like doing podcasts. And I never really edited a lot of them. I was like, all right, I just want to start editing stuff. And then she gave me the option of like, well, what do you want to do? How much do you want to do? So like I was in charge of my own workload. And then that basically gave me like no excuses to like mess around basically.
Mhm.
It was like, all right, well, I said I did this and now I have to keep my word. And it was cool because I got practical like work, like I sat there and I listened to the entire hour long things, endless notes of me trying to find like the 3 questions, parts that I could cut out, parts that I could. It taught me how to like stitch edits together a little better, because there was some parts where someone would just laugh and then it would just be like, "Tuh," and I was like, all right, now I got to fix that. It was
Yeah.
cool. No, I liked it. And then being like behind the scenes and like getting to know some of the people that we've met in like the meetings was pretty cool too. And like I'm just not gonna talk about like who it was, but you guys know who. Like I was like, wow, that really like changed my mindset on
Yeah, well-
things. And it was really eye-opening. So I just I just like to learn all this stuff, honestly, and just keep working.
Yeah.
And now you have all of us as a family, because that's really what
Yeah,
it should
for
be,
sure.
right? Like you should get an internship and then you should be able to create these connections to help you grow in the world. And we were talking about how internships, like the stereotypical way of an internship is that students are treated like slaves, like go get my coffee, go do this. It's like that's not the way to like gain your
especially
trust.
in the music business, by the way.
That's what
Especially
Bob, open
in
your mouth,
particular in the
Bob.
music
That's
business.
what we want out of this conversation.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because like I feel once you get to a certain level, and I think this is like the case with all music, like you don't want people messing your stuff up, like, or messing up your flow. Like I bought this, whatever, let's say I go to a crazy studio, I bought this $10,000, $20,000 microphone. I'm not gonna let some random guy, like, you know what I mean? They don't want some random Joe Schmo to plug things in and then he dropped it. So they're just very overprotective of their stuff, and they don't realize that everything is like a teaching opportunity. Like you don't have to use a $20,000 mic for an intern. Just tell them to use a cheaper one, plug it in, and then boom, there you go.
And it's the same process. It's the same science behind it. You don't have to teach with you're right, with the $20,000 mic.
Yeah.
And that's really the same thing that you can apply to everything. That is super zen,
It's really a good point, man.
Yeah, no, you get good. I like a piece of advice that I keep like with me, and like a lot of the times whenever I try something new, and at least recently I'm like really understanding it now, is like it isn't the gear that makes you good at what you do, it's what you can do with the gear.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yes.
1000%.
Like,
That's right.
When I first got here as a freshman and I got my saxophone, I couldn't play it at all. I was just like, I don't have a Yanagisawa, even though I just spent crazy money on this Yamaha, or like I need a Ishimori neck screw because all my friends were thinking about it, or getting like a silver plated neck. And then I was just like, well, now I'm just like, why do I need that? I just play, and if it sounds good, it sounds good, because now I can basically go onto any other instrument, just put on my mouthpiece and figure it out from there.
Right.
You know,
The figure it out is the key, right? Like with anything, like, so like what we're talking about with musical instruments, but I mean, really with anything you do in life, right? And this is all the whole yin yang thing. I was thinking about this earlier today. For instance, every musician is both a technician, right? Is a disciplined, or to some degree, a technician that had to learn some rules and follow them to get to play an instrument. And then the other side of it is the artist, the more free artist, the uninhibited, flake, right? You know, so like, and that's what artists are. They have to be both
Oh,
in order to make anything, right? You got to know how to. You can't just pick it up an instrument and not how to know what to do with it and call yourself a musician. You have to
Well,
learn some degree of technical ability, and so that's where like the yin yang part of it is like, you know, you were all both, right? So which way do you lean? You know, or do you lean more toward and then to your conversation, Josh, it's like, do you lean more to being a gearhead, or do you lean more to like the process and the creative and the artistic part of it? And I think it's really interesting because, you know, that's the difference between a Jimi Hendrix and an Yngwie Malmsteen. You know what I mean? Like that Yngwie Malmsteen, if anybody doesn't know, is like this 80s guitar god, and he was just the metal god, right? He was the fastest guitar player anybody's ever heard. He played classical scale. All he did is play classical scales really, 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 really fast, and then harmonize them like 100 times. You know, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. There's no way I could ever do it, right? But you know, I've never heard him play a blues lick. You know, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you know, there's the other side, you know.
There is always the other side. To that point, it's like when we had Alex from Icon on here, and like the day before he was on our podcast, me and him were talking about mixing and mastering, and he's really good at like pop, right? And he was saying he's now learning like dubstep and trap mastering, like the stuff I originally did, and I do very well. And he was just talking about how like it's breaking all the rules properly. It's like rule
Right.
breaking with rules, and it's
Mhm.
like, and that's what you're saying. It's like
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
I maybe couldn't play a blues riff because it
Mhm.
was so easily sloppy that it to him it would be like
Right.
horrible.
Well, yeah, because that is what I'm saying. And I'm saying basically like whether, and I'm relating it to Josh's experience in the studio, and how some friends are motivated by getting the best gear and getting the most expensive this and the best microphone and all that. And other folks like Josh are motivated by, I just want to learn how to pick up any microphone, plug it into any board, and and figure out how to use it, you know, and then get creative with it. And people don't know, but we've heard what Josh does, and he's very creative sound designer and audio engineer, does a lot of
Yeah,
neat
we
things.
gotta watch your recital, Josh.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, let's
Oh,
do
yeah,
the
I forgot
cards
about
and then we
that.
can get to Josh's recital. Yeah.
I want to
So
ask.
anyway, yeah, so that's what I was getting. I was relating it all back to Taoism because I relate everything back to Taoism, and I was saying it was like a yin yang because we're all both of those things, and we just have to, or whatever we do, we're both technician and artist, and which way do we lean?
Yeah, no, and it's just like one last thing. I mean, like for me personally, I don't like, I understand like when something that inhibits my learning is when there's too much for me to do at once. So like getting all the crazy equipment just makes you kind of like overwhelmed, and you're like, damn, I suck at this, you know? And you don't really want to start small. And it's just like, that's why, like, for as much as I wanted to get like an 8-channel interface, I just got like a little 2-channel, and I'm like, well, I got to get good at this one before I can go to anything else. And like, oh, if I really needed more channels, I can just get a mixer and plug it in. Who cares
Yeah,
if I
but if
don't
you're
get all
just
the
recording
individual
yourself,
things?
yeah, you're just hanging
Exactly.
out recording yourself. You don't need it, right?
You have to
Mhm.
give yourself a lot of credit because you're very self-aware, and everyone's consciousness is at a different level, and it's okay. There's not better or worse. You are very aware and in tune, and it seems like you are very humble where you don't mind starting wherever you're at and like building up. Some people are just cannot have, it's like the brand thing. It's like, I need this. I need
Right.
to have this to be good. And it's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, I think,
Well, I
yeah,
think-
yeah. Oh, no, go ahead, Kilo.
Oh, no, go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, because I was at that point, like, when I first got to school, I thought that like classical was like everything, and like you could only really play if you could only do that. I had like a weird chip on my shoulder, and I just wanted to be better than everybody. But at the end of the day, like it took me like eating, like, for lack of a better term, eating shit, and like getting showed up by all these other guys, and then them reaching out to me after I changed my attitude and not being like that stuck up person, like, oh, how did you do that? What do you practice? Oh,
Oh,
how do you learn that?
Awesome.
You know, and like I used to be like not spiteful, but like,
You don't
a little
seem like
edgier.
that at
Right.
all.
And then you realize it was cooler to be cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to be cool,
Opposite of
man.
that,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like
That's
now, like I now walk into like people's practice rooms whenever I hear something cool. I'm like, oh, how did you do that? Like,
right on.
right. Being
Like-
humble is the best way to learn, man.
and
Yeah.
being curious, like,
Mhm.
yeah.
I agree. Definitely.
so
And I,
with that,
and I did want to point out that is usually a flaw that people have in the beginning of, for instance, producing. Like they'll buy every plugin possible ever. They'll get like, you know, contact complete or complete and whatever native instrument stuff. And then they're like, I'm a producer. And if they just learned one of them good, they
Mhm.
wouldn't feel as overwhelmed. But that comes with like how many plugins? Like 10 or more. Like you're not gonna learn all 10 and make sense of it at first.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
They
Yeah,
all
definitely.
look different. And you're like, wait, what? So it's like people, if you haven't produced yet or done instruments, don't worry about getting like the top of the line shit that I don't even use. You know, like get
we're also
any-
building.
and try. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, well,
we're
you
at a
get-
place where we're building some
Oh,
special
we
sauces.
we are at a time when we are doing that. But like if there are new producers out there, you
Yeah,
don't need everything that we're
Yeah.
even talking about to be
and
able to make music.
you know what? Thanks for bringing that up because that might be something that down the line that I could figure out. Because what I want to do with Choose Love Music is kind of be like the helpline to
Oh, yeah,
House of
that's
Static,
awesome.
right? You know, so maybe it's like have a resource page of, hey, this is free resources where you can download and start playing around
Right.
free.
That's cool.
You know,
Right on.
like what for the beginner, for the person who wants to produce but can't afford it and doesn't really know anything about how to start, like what do you do?
Right.
Oh yeah,
Right.
no, there's like a bunch of stuff out there too. Like there's I don't know if you guys mind if I shout out these free like DAWs. They're just because they're just free to everybody, like BandLab.
No,
I know one of my friends uses BandLab all the time.
yeah,
Mhm.
so maybe you can help me with the resource list and I'll just make, that's what I want. I want people to feel like they have a home, like a place to go to.
Right.
Yeah,
to
especially
get
in such a
started.
competitive field, like a lot of musicians, like at least some of the ones I met, like they all have a chip on their shoulder because they all want to be like the next, like whoever is playing drums. When in
You're
reality,
never
we're
gonna
all on
be
the same
next
strum.
whoever
Yeah.
it is. You have to be the next you, yo.
Right.
Yeah.
Hippie
Yeah.
dippy. Mhm.
I made the first Static Dive EP. I made on all open source software.
You did?
Yeah, the whole thing. So like I did, it's I'm a computer geek. So I have like that computer there is Linux, has Linux on it.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's-
that's right.
And so basically anything on Linux is open source anyway. I used Ardor and just a whole bunch of plugins that go into Ardor. And Ardor is the sort of Pro Tools of Linux. It's like a free open source, Pro Tools copy. And it does a lot of neat things. It's not Pro Tools, it's not perfect, but it was cool. I made a record on it and I liked it, so
Yeah.
it was cool. But then I eventually went back to Pro Tools.
Yeah.
That was the thing. That's always the thing with Linux for me. Like I'm a computer guy, and I would like in business, I would switch to Linux on my laptop and try to, everybody else's Windows, and I was trying to be Linux, and I'd always go back to Windows because it's just that's the way the rest of the world works. Is everybody's Windows or Mac? You know what I mean? And it's just so much easier to communicate with them that way. But I keep my Linux computer there for cool
Yeah.
stuff that I get to do.
And then
Play video
for-
games.
for some of the, because I know that I have some people that have been my followers that are now joining us and watching. So like, what can they expect if they want to learn more from your blog, Bob? Like,
Oh, from
you
mine.
go, yeah, because I know
Okay.
I have some of my Choose Love Music people coming over to the podcast here. So just like, are you going to be talking more about that kind of stuff, or what, or like music reviews? What? Because I'm trying to send some people over there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do a lot of sort of personal blogging on it, honestly. I mean, really what my site is, the Static Dive or staticdive.com. And I basically write press releases, and artist profiles, and that's kind of what I do. So independent artists and record labels, when they're about to release some new music, or they have released new music, they'll contact me and ask me to write it up. So I write a nice a couple paragraphs of bio about the artist, and then a couple paragraphs about the song or album or whatever, and then put it up. And then so what just the general public finds at my site is a whole bunch of really great independent music from around the world, and like all around the world, you know. And
We met some of the artists on the show that you've written about, and they're
yeah, like you.
What's
Yeah. That's Kilo and I got together originally because I wrote about him. So yeah. And everybody, you know, we talk about London Elixir, who is an artist, a producer in Atlanta that I work with, same thing that I met her through the blog. She's
and
great, everybody.
Liberty C, the lady.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. We just Kilo and I produced remixed and produced or produced a remix for the artist Liberty C, who is
I
Katja
love
Cruz,
her.
the singer in Austria.
Super
Really good,
nice.
and now a great friend of ours. She's a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
And we met through my blog too. So yeah, there's a
Okay,
lot of really
time
good
for
music
the
on there.
magic card game because I want to know who I.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was
Josh,
thinking the same thing.
this is how it goes. You tell me when to stop, and then I'll tell you the next part.
Stop.
Okay. And then, you gotta bear with us here.
Well, I like the one that's sticking out the most in
This
the
one?
middle. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll turn them over at the end. Josh is right there.
Not the end of the show, the end of us all picking one.
Yeah.
Okay,
this
Bob.
second one.
You're next
Yes.
in line. All right,
Okay.
tell me when to stop.
Now.
Oh, you cracked me up.
That one there. Yeah.
Oh, you're
Was the
great.
same
You're
spot.
just immediately now. Mhm.
I forgot to
All
do
right.
the drum roll, but really Tibetan
Yeah.
sing.
Uh, what just happened to the Bob? Oh my God! There was an earthquake.
Oh my gosh. Hi.
was-
That
How
was
you doing?
awesome.
That was awesome. My drum roll knocked my camera off my screen.
I thought there was an earthquake.
How you doing? How's everybody doing out there?
That's awesome.
All right.
That's awesome.
I gotta fix it. You continue. Go pick your card, Kilo. I'm not
Kilo.
gonna do the drum roll. this time.
Kilo. Crush.
Now. Okay,
You're the opposite. You put a lot of thought into that.
I want the top one. There you go,
This
Bob.
one?
That's for you.
Wow.
This top one or that top? This one?
Either one.
Oh, gotta tell me.
You kind of
You
gotta
gotta
pick.
pick.
Yeah.
Okay, I want the bottom one. The
That
very
one, right?
bottom. I'll-
Because it's like sticking out right at you, like he. Okay.
Mhm, That's right.
Oh, and you have to pick yours now.
Kilo's a professional card picker. Oh, I'm gonna grab this right one sticking out. Okay. Okay. Joshua, ready?
Yes.
Drum roll, Tibetan throat singing. Who
Don't touch the table, Bob. Don't touch the table.
did you get?
What do you get Ella Fitzgerald.
Ella Fitzgerald.
I did not. I had her like a couple weeks ago. I had
Yeah,
her. Yeah. Nice.
Ella
one.
Fitzgerald. She says, "You are your own best teacher. Nothing is more hard won than innocence. Intuition beats experience." How perfect
Wow.
is that?
That we just had that
We
conversation.
just had that conversation. Yeah.
I like this game.
I love
I'm telling
it.
you, man. Cards, they somehow get things right. I don't know how they do it.
No, they really do. It's very strange.
Lots of saging the
I've
apartment.
only been Johnny Cash like twice in a
Yep.
row. So what
What
just
just
happened? Why? Why, Bob?
I
Why,
didn't.
Bob?
I just like. I put my water down and my mouse went crazy. What did you
Stop
see?
touching the table.
What did you
Stop
see?
touching the table. We saw a dog that was saying.
Oh, that's why that I had it on that screen because I was going to share that earlier. So here, I'll, real quick, I'll show you what it was. That's remember I was talking about Lady
Monologue.
Snorts a lot.
Oh man,
That's
a
Lady
great-
Snorts a lot.
That is
That
a
is-
funny.
That dog is so handsome.
She's wonderful. She is beautiful. She's there. There she goes.
Oh, I like that one with the
Not
unicorn.
the unicorn.
There you go.
The unicorn.
Oh, the
outfit.
unicorn. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Let's see.
Not the
This right here.
suit.
There you go. That is
Yeah.
Lady Snorts. Her name is Snickers.
Hug a
If you-
corn.
Yeah, my
That's so
girlfriend, my girlfriend's daughter's dog, Kathy's dog. It's an awesome dog. Anyway, there you go. That's why
I love
we were talking about it earlier, so I had it on the screen and then I never shared it. So then my water decided.
And your water decided to share it.
We're
Okay,
amazing.
my,
Okay, Bob's next. Ready? Drum roll. Oh, Bjork.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
that is cool.
I was literally wow. I was hanging around my house getting ready to do this. I was listening to Bjork. I love her. I love Bjork. That's
Well,
fantastic.
She's your spirit guide. She says, devour life whole, organize an orgy with the sky and sea. Optimism is energy.
That's
Whoa.
sounds like Bob.
I love it.
Yeah.
Here, let's see. I'm gonna look at this.
Army.
I want to share my screen one more time because it just to make a point here.
This is how
Yeah.
much fun we
I like
have on
Bjork's
this.
sound design. It's one of the best ever.
Do you see my recently
Yeah.
played list?
Mhm.
Mhm. Yep.
Bjork.
Yep.
Bjork. I was like jamming out to Bjork for like an hour before the show. That's awesome.
Whoa.
Wow. That's weird.
Super great. My turn.
Okay.
Right. Kilo. Drum roll. Jimi
Why
Hendrix.
everybody else gets Jimmy all the time? I
Fuck
never
you,
get
Bob. Fuck you.
Jimmy. I never get Jimmy.
When you least expect it, it'll happen. All right. Jimi Hendrix says, only losers stay in tune. If you live in a room
That's
full of mirrors, all you will see is yourself. Technology is a tool, but it will never set you free.
That's cool because I was talking about wanting to record a piano.
Piano.
That's
All right,
completely fucked. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay.
Okay.
This is a
And then
fun
my
little game.
oh, Beethoven, which is
Okay.
very strange because in my
that one.
transmission, I definitely go into some crazy, classically inspired.
Classically inspired. Is that okay?
Well, I do a lot of like the.
I was talking about the
Korean-
violin. Sorry.
I don't
that's
know.
what I
It's
was
crazy. Cool. He says a wrong note is insignificant. Playing without passion is inexcusable. Listen, destiny is knocking at your door. Conduct a symphony in silence.
Mhm. And your
All right.
song thing has this part about silence that you just cut everything out for like a long while, which is super dope with like a pop and it just cuts out. Good job. Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We all got heavy hitters. I mean, like this deck doesn't give you nobodies, but this group right here, like this would be an interesting super group. Imagine Ella,
Right.
Bjork, Jimmy, Beethoven, and let's just throw Bob Marley in there. Like, what would that? If we had to make a sound
We should
symphony,
do that sometime. And the next week we will have had to create a track based off of those four
yeah,
people or whatever. Like,
yes, I
how
wanted
was
to.
that? But what, Bob?
Well, I'm thinking about the band, the instruments, who's going to play what. I mean, Marley and Hendrix are both guitar players. I mean, Marley played guitar.
There can be two
he
guitar
wasn't like
players
known
in
as a
a
guitar
band.
player.
Okay, well, we
but
can
he
take
he could strum a
Bob-
guitar.
Bob Marley technically wasn't in our four, so he can
Oh,
get.
okay. So then you got to get Bjork and Beethoven and
But
who was the-
remember, Bjork is
Ella.
a producer and a composer as well. So maybe Bjork does sound design. Ella
Yeah.
sings with Jimmy,
Mhm.
Beethoven.
All right, and Ella. Yeah, okay. So it's not. I was thinking of a band, but if you had Bjork making beats and
Yeah.
right, and then Jimmy and Jimmy and Beethoven writing the
Oh,
music,
yeah,
that'd be
just
pretty cool.
mash it up. Just take like Jimmy vocals, cut them out of a song, take
Right on.
some. Yeah, that'd be fun. We should.
Oh,
do
so you
that
think we
challenge
should do
sometime.
this now? We should make this song. We'll go
Yeah.
and
We
sample all
should.
of these artists. A little bit of
We should do
Beethoven, a
that.
little bit of Bjork, a
We
little
should
Jimmy,
Yeah,
and
start
let's
that
let's do something.
in
Let's
the
just
new
do
year. Hold on. In
That's
the new
fun.
year,
Okay.
we should start that as a thing where we
Sound
each
Safari.
week we put that's the sound sorry. We
Yeah.
pull the cards
Or
and then-
we could like do like listening research on whoever we got. So I would have to go back and listen to a bunch of Ella, come back with something and try to copy it or something like that.
Oh,
that just sounds like homework.
Yeah, Josh, you are graduating school.
Autobiography.
Remember
I
when
thought
she
you were gonna
said,
say you're grounded.
Intuition beats experience. We're throwing you in with the wolves.
All right, yeah, sure, why not?
Yes, absolutely.
That's
All right.
cool. We should, yeah, let's figure this out for next year. I think
Yeah,
that's
that'll be
great.
super fun because yes, absolutely great idea.
I'm down 100%. Bob,
Right
Okay.
on. Yeah, sure, right on. I'm always
Now that
cool.
we've done all of that, we should definitely play the round robin
Right,
question
the
game.
question game.
I'm
right
so
on.
excited because now it's Bob's turn to ask a question. Ha! Got you, Bob.
What?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Good
Well,
job.
Josh, do you? Oh, you're leaving.
Josh has to go.
I'm gonna be right back. It's gonna take me like less than a minute.
Okay.
Okay,
All
then
right,
we
cool.
won't start without him. Don't worry.
like
No,
your
no.
shirt. Love.
Yeah, I love
Thank
your
you.
shirt. We need to make Josh a shirt.
Yeah, Christmas or when
You're gonna make him a shirt.
when he finishes his.
He
when he
can't hear us. He was on headphones. He
Okay.
walked. He took his headphones.
Everybody out there, don't tell Josh the intern.
my
You should make him a gift.
Yeah. Mhm.
That should be the gift.
A shirt. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how you make a shirt. What are you gonna do?
Oh.
What-
I
He's a
made you
pro at
a
this.
shirt, Bob. Remember? It's just really sucky. But like,
You made no. You did.
Order.
like
You ordered me shirts. Yeah.
no, Bob. Never mind. Maybe I never sent it. to you.
Actually, there's
Oh, you
this
didn't. You
free
told
printing.
me about it. You told
Yeah,
me you
it's
made me a
that
shirt.
bad that I didn't
Mm.
send it to you.
That's right. No, you did not send me it. So I don't. I'm not in the
glad.
wrong here. I didn't do it.
Okay, we should all be thinking of our questions so that when Josh.
Oh, that's a
comes-
good idea. That's a good idea. And we maybe explain to folks what we're talking about too, that they're the questions, the question game or whatever questions that we do. This was something Kilo came up with when we started the whole thing. We've been doing this we've done some version of this in every episode we've ever done. And basically we each have to ask a question where there are two questions, music or art or industry related question. And then just a random anything question. And we each ask one of those and everybody has to answer. You have to answer your own question. That keeps people from, baiting everybody into nastiness.
Oh yeah, I
So-
definitely thought of that part of it because I was like, nope, I'm not
Yeah.
going to be tricked into anything that Bob
Yeah.
and the guests are not willing to answer.
Exactly. Where's the most embarrassing thing that you've ever, or
Like,
whatever?
never have I
You
ever.
have to answer that yourself.
Right.
So careful, But
And-
but anyway, and we should be.
Josh
Now we'll
knows-
probably have to explain the game again because
Josh knows the question game, right? Josh,
Do you know how the question thing works, Josh?
You ask one question and then everyone answers.
Yeah. There you go. And then we
And-
ask another one. So
Yeah.
one question is random. The other is a music related question.
Yep.
Okay.
So-
Okay, Bob, have you thought of your question yet?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the answer is no. I have not thought of my question, but I'm thinking of a question right now.
Well, that was my question, Bob. So now it's.
Oh, I
your
got one. I have one. This was great. This is a good
Okay.
one. What is your well, let's say, what's your favorite Christmas or holiday song? It's the holiday season.
Bro, come on, man. They're all my favorites. What is wrong with you?
I'm just saying. Or so talk about that. But anyway, so Josh, you first. Your favorite
Well,
holiday song.
I will say this: I don't like a lot of holiday music. I'm like not really a huge
Get
fan.
off my show.
Mhm.
Get
Yeah.
off my show.
Well, I think part of it's because like I used to work retail, and they would play it all the
Oh
time.
yeah, I did too. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was just like, it's always the same sax solo. Like it's all like the rock sax stuff. Like,
Do an
yeah,
impression of that.
That's awesome.
I
Yeah.
I
Eddie
can't
Money.
even.
You're like,
I hear it, but I can't. But no, I think my favorite is there's this one song that like every like Hispanic person knows. It's called like Mi Burrito Sabanero. And that song, I'm not gonna lie, it just slaps. I don't even know. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it's literally the best song ever.
I was just saying,
And-
I was trying to translate it. What was the title?
Mi Burrito Sabanero.
Like
I don't even really
habanero
know how to-
burritos. You're just talking about
No,
habanero
no.
burritos. Me
No,
burritos.
it's just
habanero?
yeah, just basically talking about a donkey, and it's like my little donkey kind of thing.
Oh
and
yeah, a burro,
really?
right?
Yeah.
So a burrito is a
Burrito,
little donkey. right?
donkey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See,
have
a
that
in
burrito,
Italian.
you're eating a
It's
little
like
donkey.
Tuki
What?
tuki tuki tuki.
Oh, we
tuki,
have that
tuki,
same song in
tuki.
Italy.
It's something the Christmas donkey, right? The,
Yeah.
the,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Italian song is
Donkey.
Dominic the donkey, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
that's
mi
cool. Wow,
burrito
we just learned a neat thing.
sabanero camina de bere. Yeah, it's
That's
like
the same
real
song.
cute.
That's
Yeah,
so cool. I've heard the Italian one before.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the Spanish one. That's really groovy.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, like
right.
people go off for that song.
Yeah, it's like the song. It's like,
Yeah, it
All right. Well, good answer. That was fun. We learned a little bit of we learned a little bit of cultural information there. That was cool. So
I like
Alex,
learning, Bob. Okay, yes, Alex.
What was the question?
what is your favorite holiday song?
Honestly, I love Kilo's remix of the Jingle Bells, the Jingle Bell Rockies.
The Kilo All the Bells?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Bob,
I
you
agree.
should-
That's a great one.
Bob, you should play a little bit for Josh right now, just so
Yeah,
he
yeah.
hears
Yeah,
Christmas.
no, that we're gonna end up playing mine too.
I really
you know.
appreciate
Yes.
that answer, Alexandria. That was very nice of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's great too. I
Love it.
agree with that answer. It's cool. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up here. You should make that should be your featured song on Spotify right now, Kilo. 'cause it's
You
Christmas.
don't choose. Oh yeah, you can choose that. Whoops, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I made a
All right,
mistake.
let's see.
We're gonna just have to get an intern for next semester to do things like that.
Semester of the
Share
year.
this out.
You mean?
All right, you guys. All right, you ready? Here, this is Kilo All the Bells. This is Kilo's Christmas song.
You don't have to play the whole thing.
Recorded in and released in 2016.
Mhm.
This is awesome.
Merry fucking Christmas.
There you go. Gotta let it play a little bit because it gets into the whole.
Fucking Christmas.
All right. Do you want me to play the whole thing, or do you want
Let
me to
him
stop
hear the chorus at least.
it? Okay. That's cool.
White Christmas. Fucking Christmas.
You can stop it now, Bob.
Okay. Hey, it's
Practicing
awesome.
my TikTok dancing, even though I
I've heard
don't
that
do
song
dancing
so
on
many
TikTok.
times. Yes.
Anyway, so
But,
there you go.
There's
right.
Kilo All the Bells. Good job.
All right. Your answer, Kilo. What's your favorite
I
holiday
love all
song?
Christmas songs, Bob. All of them. I want all of them in my ears at once. I love them because they're so like that. I don't know if it is exactly a different time signature or not, but like I turned my grid off on Ableton because I couldn't get the beginning thing right. So I had to just do it with no grid until like the drop area.
Yep.
And it turned out cool. But like I like Christmas music because I guess maybe because I like giving presents to people. And like that's something me and Alex have been talking about because we both enjoy giving people presents. So we've been like present bombing each other. Like I'll give you a better, like we are not opening them, but it's like I enjoy giving the presents. So because seeing like people being excited or angry always makes me happy. So I have always just loved Christmas. It's like
That's nice.
something I enjoy.
That's
so I
awesome.
love when Christmas time comes around, I'm like, okay, now I can listen to it and no one will think I'm weird.
But
That's
Bob,
awesome.
it's because he lives in LA.
There you go. Right.
What about
that
LA?
did- I had to tease you. I'm saying that you like Christmas music because you live out in LA. Like here in New York, it's like, oh, it's so beautiful until the snow comes and it's like slushy.
Oh, well, I grew up
It's
in Oklahoma where it snows and New Hampshire, so I'm pretty sure
Right
I
on,
know
yeah.
that. And scooters don't like that kind of weather, by the way. I learned that the hard way. I
Oh,
like the
right, yeah.
scooters plus icy roads equals not fun things.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned New York and Christmas. Do you know I just got to give a little shout out to my hometown here because the tree this year is from Queensbury, New York, from my hometown. It's from like 2 miles from my house.
Congratulations, someone
The
finally
tree, like the
did it.
tree in
Out
Rockefeller
of
Center, the
town,
big,
Bob. That's
huh?
awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty neat, you know.
And I love Christmas trees as well.
I
love
do.
them all the way. Eventually, I'm going to put one over there for the podcast time so that then everyone can enjoy the Christmas tree with us. Mhm.
There you go.
Wait, are you guys like firm believers in the Christmas tree being up by Thanksgiving?
No, fuck that. Mine
No,
has-
I don't have a tree up in my
What?
house.
I
right
didn't
now.
know that was a thing.
That is
No.
a thing.
Mom is like that. But I
That
feel
really is a
like
thing?
I also feel bad for the trees. So during this time, I try to do more work to help more trees being planted. Just saying,
I
Because
try
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
buy,
yeah, I agree with that.
chop down.
I buy mine late as possible so that then it doesn't die by Christmas time.
Oh, you guys get real trees?
No, I don't. I have. A fake
Yeah,
one.
no, I have a
Yes.
fake one.
I
Yeah.
get real trees, Josh. Mhm.
Oh,
I have 3
what?
cats, so it doesn't matter what I get; they just destroy it. Like we'll get a fake tree, and it lasts about 2 years, and then we have to get a new one because the
What?
cats
A
like the
minute to
cats love to
realize
climb the
it.
tree. They
The
like live in it.
The
They're
tree we
nuts.
have in my family. Well, it's just me and my mom, but our tree is like as old as me,
That's
or
awesome.
almost as
That's
old as me.
awesome.
It's like 23 years old, and we still have it. We lost all the labeling, so we put it. Well, she does everything. I'm not gonna take credit for that. She does
Mhm.
everything by hand or like by her eyesight. She like matches all the branches to make sure they're all on the right thing.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's like a whole art, right? Like she takes out all the dark. That's how my mom is. It's like it's a thing. Like
Yeah.
they have it their way.
And
I
every year's a
want
different
Christmas
theme.
like that. I want Christmas that has
Yeah.
all of that detail.
Oh, it's a thing.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
it.
no, like every year it has to be a different color for the ornaments. It can't be the same. Like this year's white, last year was blue, I think.
That's awesome.
That sounds
loves
like
Christmas.
a wonderful, wonderful time.
All right. Oh,
What
I have to
about
answer
you,
the question.
Bob?
Yeah,
What
I have to
about
answer
you,
the question.
Bob?
I don't know about a favorite. There's I've always I have my own Christmas song too that I recorded and is out right now and
You
playing.
should
and
play
it's
some
pretty-
of it, Bob.
Yes.
Play
I'll
some
play a
of
little
it,
bit
Bob.
of it,
Play some.
but it's not. I wouldn't say if I had another one that I would like to cover someday that I think is just a groovy bit of music is "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen," because I would love that to be some crazy ass bass line, you know what I mean, and they just go nuts with
Oh
it.
yeah,
that would be fun.
next year, Bob. Next year.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good
For
idea.
sure.
That'd be cool. But I went much mellower with my little Christmas song. So here we go. My Christmas song is "We Three Kings," originally written by I think it was John Hopkins Jr. in 1857. And so "We Three Kings of Orient are." So mine's instrumental though, so it's just music.
I like your album art.
I'll just let it play to the chorus. I like what I do with the chorus. general idea. So that's my Christmas
That's
song.
dope.
You know, one thing I was thinking about, Kilo, when you were talking about, thank you. You were talking about the time signature thing, you know, when you were talking about you were doing, you know, and it's all weird. All those songs are like those. The reason we could we could release them and not have to pay anybody copyrights is because they're in the public domain because they're wicked old, right? So that song was written in 1857, and back then, like, you know, there was no jazz or blues or rock and roll. There was no 4/4 backbeat music. You know what I mean? So like every song was in whatever keys, whatever time signature fit the song, you know, and the mood of the author. So you're right. If you go back and learn, like that one's in 6/8, which is not all that complicated, but it's not 4/4. You know, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a ding,
Right.
ding, ding, ding. And so yeah, it's pretty interesting if you go back there, the way that people composed before, you know, rock and roll, before jazz, before anything that we're familiar with.
Mhm.
Cool.
Okay, who's gonna ask the next question? Me?
You.
Yeah, I'm running to the ladies' room. I'll be back.
Okay, everyone's going places when we ask questions. That's okay. I will start our questions with what is, oh no, that's, I don't know, man. Let me think. What is the weirdest thing you've ever done, like with or to an instrument to get a certain sound? Like,
Okay. God, I'm glad you went to instruments on that. It's
Bob, get your head out of the
I'm
kitchen.
just saying, what's the weirdest thing you've ever done with? And I was like, oh Jesus, what's happening next?
Like to
So-
get a certain feel or sound, because I was talking about it earlier with the piano,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we would. I'd say. Am I answering the? I'll answer first, right?
Sure.
So, my friend Mark Fuller owns. He did own a recording studio called Edie Road Studios in Argyle, New York, for a long time. He sold it eventually, but and it was a big deal. Like that's my buddy. I talk about my buddy that has a Grammy from working with Kanye West. That's where it was. Kanye recorded at this studio, right? But it was my friend's studio, so we used to like when he didn't have anybody booked, we got to just kind of hang out and play and record and do whatever we wanted because we were all buddies and that's what we did. So we'd get drunk as shit and like record and make weird sounds, you know. So we'd always like everything was like some sort of like experiment. Like, what if we put the amp all the way down the hall, you know what I mean, cranked it to 11 and then it had like 5 mics at the other end? What would happen? Or if we staggered
I
the
wanna
mics,
do
you know, we
stuff
would do
like
stuff like that. Yeah.
That's
So
fun.
what's that?
I said I want to do stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's
For sure.
awesome. We experiment with sound a lot, but
Mhm.
that same guy, Mark Fuller, used to do all kinds of stuff. We recorded like railroad, like the train going by, to have a mic like on the railroad track when the train was going by. Cool stuff.
What was the question?
Like, what's the weirdest thing you've done to an instrument or with an instrument to get a certain sound or something? So Bob kind of generalized like
Mm.
times he did that.
Yeah,
So I
it was
guess
kind
you
of-
can
right.
answer it however way you want.
Mm.
Like,
Bob doesn't answer the question, so you don't have to either.
yeah, no. Bob didn't care, so why do I? What about you,
All right,
John?
all right.
Well, like the only instrument I ever really played and I did anything weird on was probably the saxophone.
It
Like,
can be something you did in a DAW as well.
You did do something strange that you shared with us.
Oh
during-
yeah, the recording, the
meeting.
ambient recording you made, that
Yeah.
natural reverb, that was cool.
oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that was weird.
Well,
But
not weird,
What
just
we're talking
you
about.
know,
Not bad.
yeah,
experimental.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I put like a microphone just like on a piano and it was just like, it's gonna sound bad. And then I recorded it and it sounded pretty good. I was like, oh, okay. I was
Mhm.
just really messing around with like how you can mic different things because there's like whole textbooks on miking actually.
Yeah.
Like you can find them, but
Mhm.
that's pretty much it. Or like, yeah, I get like it would be weird if to you guys, but like massaging reeds to make sure they play well and like, you know, like there's a lot of guys that do like a
My
lot
middle
of weird
name
things.
is Reed, so that just sounded weird. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not joking. That's not a joke. That is my middle name.
Yeah,
so
see, it's,
yeah,
see, I
Yeah.
said it. It's a little weird.
very strange.
Now, but you're right. Like I had sax player. There's a sax player, my friend Matty Carl. We were talking about him earlier today. He's a music teacher in New Jersey, which is what our friend
yeah.
Josh will soon be. And Matty Carl, yeah, like during the gig or before the gig, he'd always have his reed like in his mouth, just kind of hang out, kind of getting it ready. And then yeah, it looked weird, but
Yeah.
that's what he did. That's what he did. So.
Nice.
What about you, Alex?
Can I?
Doesn't have to
I'm
be-
gonna answer the question, but I'm gonna not answer the question and answer it in a different way. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so Richie Canada, who is Billy Joel's saxophonist, brought up Billy Joel. He runs a studio called Cove City Sound Studios in Glen Cove, New York. And I really, 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 he's amazing. He's like a godfather to me, like rock godfather. Like, hey, Alex, if you come in here, you better leave, doing something that no one did before, blah, 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 blah. And I really just want to take all of us and be locked in there for 3 days, because they have
food.
5.
Food and
He said I
water.
can do this. He said I can do this. I just have to plan it and all of this. And I really want to do it before the end of next year. I want to go and Studio B, they have this great guy, Brendan Keenan, who helps set everything up, and he's a producer as well. And they have the console from 1969 Woodstock.
Oh,
And-
wow. That's cool.
Yeah. And they have a bunch of instruments that are there. And Richie really, I feel like after tonight's conversation, it's like I walked in and Richie does the live jams at the Bitter End on Mondays in the Lower East Side. He's been doing them for like 20 years, even
cool.
being on tour. It's like,
Wow.
imagine after today's conversation, what we all just walk in, or we could just go to Bob's house even. Like, you have everything right there. We'll just show up. Imagine just,
Sure.
hi, Bob, we're sleeping in your attic.
Yes. Put me in the attic,
Right up
Bob.
there.
Put me in the attic.
That's fine. I'm not going up there again, but go ahead.
Because I don't know if I've ever really recorded anything strange, but I'm opening
To
myself.
record in an attic, though.
Hmm?
It would be sick to record in the attic, like record
Yeah.
a vocal in the attic, Bob.
It was sort of one of my original thoughts of why I wanted to get in the attic, but then I maimed myself getting out of the attic, so I decided not to
Well,
go
I
up there
mean,
again.
Alexandria, though, you did some really cool things within Ableton yesterday. Like you did cool stretching of stuff and stuff like that. So you can't say you haven't done some weird things.
Well, that's why I think this, I definitely have like a contemporary classical mad hatter,
Scientist.
mad scientist composer living inside of me that says bing, bing, ding, ding, dong, dong.
Yeah.
It's like whatever that is, I like it.
That's
So
awesome. All right, cool. So Josh, your turn. Gotta ask a question.
I didn't get to answer.
Oh, you didn't answer yours yet. I'm
Bob.
sorry. Kilo,
I
answer your
Bob,
question.
I was gonna say, what example do you think I should use? Because every single thing I do is weird.
Yeah, I don't think there
everything
is one. I
I
mean, your
do-
entire approach to making music is, press buttons and see what happens. So
Yeah,
I
Fuck
think-
around and find out. I mean, yeah.
exactly. Right on.
So I guess
Music
my
is
answer,
fuckery.
yeah, my answer is my whole catalog, because
Yeah,
everything
exactly,
I
yeah.
do is just weird
I think
stuff.
that's fair. I think that's fair. All right.
Mhm.
So now, Josh, you ask a music related question.
I didn't really think of any. um,
Well, Alex, do you have one?
No, I don't.
Okay, no, no
I feel
one
very
wants to-
content with this conversation. I don't.
Well, we got to at least do the one round with the
We
music.
gotta
question.
do
Guys,
one
one
round.
round.
We got to do
of
one
them-
round. Kilo did one.
Oh.
I did one. Now it's Josh's turn.
huh. If you could do like one venue,
Oh, that's a good.
what would it be? And it doesn't have to be like a big one. It could just be like a tiny one too.
Yeah, no, that's good. You want me to start? I'll start. I would say if I were to answer this question when I was younger, it would have been
That's
CBGB.
Oh,
But then I played at CBGB, so I don't now. I would have a more adult answer, I guess, and say I recently for the second time, saw my friend Charo Suri play at Carnegie Hall. It's one of the halls there, and it's just remarkable sound. They had no sound system. There was just an acoustic piano on stage. There was an acoustic bass, an upright acoustic double bass on stage with no mic or anything on it, and you could hear it in the whole place. It's
Yes.
amazing. So you can't even hear those things when you stand next to them sometimes, so it's pretty wild. And nothing was overpowered. There's this live drum set next to this guy playing, and everything just sounded beautiful. And so yeah, I'd like to play in that room. I want to play at Carnegie Hall.
You will. You have Bjork guiding you. And she,
Yeah, there you go.
remember she did her,
I'm gonna steal your answer, Bob, because that is also my answer. So you stole mine and I'll steal it back.
Right. Oh, I thought you'd give some kind of LA answer, with the Coliseum or something.
No,
can we pull up for people who might not know the venues, can we pull up a photo? Is that easy or hard
Sure,
to?
yeah.
Yeah, maybe show
sure.
people a photo of CBGBs.
Oh, yeah, okay. There you go.
Yeah, because I mean, like
what's
that's
your answer, Alex?
my answer is I really, really want to perform in the Sydney Opera House. It's
We have
beautiful.
mature answers tonight.
It's beautiful. It's exquisite.
It looks like a spaceship. It's a crazy
why.
looking thing. Yeah.
I
I
want to
get
sing
your
with the
point here.
dolphins.
All right,
Yeah,
let's see.
And the whales, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, let me see. I'll do I just have to
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it
Whatever.
complicated.
No, I want to do this. So
Yeah,
let's
we
see. I'll
like
share my
to
screen.
make-
Here is CBGB. So there's your CBGB.
Yeah.
And the CBGB stood for Country Bluegrass something else. Country
Band.
Bluegrass Blues. That's what it was. Country Bluegrass Blues, which is funny because not what they had there. And CBGB was I don't remember what UMFUG means something too. OMFUG. I don't remember what it means. I don't think it's not, it sounds like you're swearing or something, but I don't think that's what it is. It's just something like, with country bluegrass blues, but it's the world's it's really the most famous rock club, the last 50, 60 years. And it was this hole in the wall downtown in New York, close to almost downtown. And it was awesome. And I got to play there when I was 20.
Now show Carnegie Hall, Bob.
Yeah, Carnegie Hall. All right.
Which, if you think about it, like CBGBs and Carnegie Hall, that is this group.
Yeah.
That is who we are.
Yeah, you probably played at Carnegie Hall, haven't you?
Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
you have, yeah. See, that's pretty cool.
And they won't let me in there. No, I'm just kidding.
But we're gonna do it. Hey,
Carnegie Hall official site. Will they have a nice picture of it on the official site? Let's see. Well, I'll share. it.
Probably.
The
I'll
Met
ask
is
my
also
mom.
beautiful too. The Met Opera House.
yes.
Oh yeah.
I'll ask my mom if she can get some of the concert, live performance concert recordings from when I was there.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing.
There you go. So there's the outside. So there's the entrance there. Oh, there's a big picture of the building. You guys could see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's Carnegie Hall. So now when I was there, within Carnegie Hall, there are actually a number of halls, right? So there's a really big famous hall, but there are a couple other ones. I wish I could remember the one I was in, but I think it's
Oh, I want us all to go. I'm so sentimental right now. Oh,
Fundamental.
sentimental.
yeah, but look at that. It's just, and I'm just telling you, I don't think that was the stage I was, because like I said, there are a couple of different, I think there are different stages at the place, but it looked very similar. And, like I said, there's no stacks of speakers or anything. There's no, you see microphones. It's just a perfect acoustic room. I mean, it's just, and there are multiple rooms within the building. They're all acoustically perfect. Beautiful.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, and let's look at the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, did you answer your own
literally-
question?
I think I'm gonna say just for like the ambiance and like the feel, I would love Tiny Desk.
Oh,
Like,
Tiny
like
Desk.
the NPR,
Yeah.
NPR show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good answer. That's cool.
Yeah. You know who introduced me to that? My mom. She's so much cooler than I am. She was like, in the music industry in New York City at its prime. And she's like, you should be listening to this. And it's when Anderson .Paak, he was like on that way back in the day.
That's cool.
Oh, I saw him with the Free Nationals when he was playing Come Down and all that.
Okay. Oh, cool.
I think so. Then he's been on a couple times.
Yeah.
Tyler, I started watching. I don't even remember who was the first person I started watching like that, but I remember watching Mac Miller. Tyler, the Creator, was his performance on that was something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then recently, Trueno, and then everyone went crazy for Usher.
Mhm.
But
And if people don't know what we're talking about, the Tiny Desk is a show, a thing they do on NPR, they literally go and they have famous or somewhat or sometimes not famous or soon to be famous artists come and play in an office. They literally play at a desk, somebody's desk in a normal office space, and it's really cool. There've been I've seen some great. I just like would get on YouTube and just kind of like let it play. So I've seen a whole bunch of them. But I don't really know who all of them are. They're just good.
That's super cool. Okay, Alex, close the show with your question.
Oh, okay. If you won a Grammy, who would you thank?
Wow, that's good.
And let's manifest 2023 at all of these venues and our Grammys.
Who is answering the question first?
I would thank the sidewalks for keeping me off the streets.
Oh,
That's good. That's good. I like that.
I like that too.
Gosh, now I have no answer because that's better than anything I could say. Thank you.
All right. Well,
I'm
I would say.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna answer? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, you said I don't have an answer, so I was like, oh, I'll answer.
Go ahead.
I would thank my dad. My dad bought me my first guitar, and that's all.
Very good
I
answer.
thank my dad. I love him. There you go.
I would. Okay, me turn. I would thank both of you two, and maybe Josh because he's probably sticking around. So I would thank all three of you. I would thank my mother and father and my grandmother and father, even though they're not all dead yet, but they will be someday. And then I will thank
Then you get the music.
I don't know. I mean, those are
Oh yeah, I think my mom too. By the way,
you're
and my
turning
girlfriend,
Poor
and
mom.
everybody else, and the cat,
And the cat. Yes.
Yes, don't forget
and my kid.
Pug a lot. Lady Pug a lot.
Lady snorts a lot. Yeah.
Lady
The
Storm.
lady
Anyway, so-
snorts a lot.
So sorry, Kilo. I just felt I was like, oh shit.
I
only
don't
did
know.
one person.
I would thank Bernie from Icon for sure,
There you go.
and Icon in general for like the stuff they did for me, and like the stuff they did for the industry. So
Sure.
Right on. Right
Yeah.
there
on.
you go.
I think
Uh,
Kilo too, by the way.
Yeah.
Nope, you can't go back now, bro. I'm never helping you.
Well, if if I get a Grammy, it's a good chance you're going to be part of it.
I
So,
said
you know.
both of you. I said all three of you guys first
Right,
before
there you
my grandmother and my parents. So,
all right.
what about you, Alex?
I thank you, and then I thank Bob because we'd probably be doing it all together. And then my parents, and I would probably do a big thank you to Spirit since I feel like I'm just a channel for everything. So I would probably say that.
Well,
Yes.
right
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
should probably think whatever it is in this room that makes me push buttons correctly. I feel as if I don't do that, then I'm probably fucked after that. So I agree with that part. Mhm.
Right on.
Yes.
All right. Who you have to? I think you have to ask the question, don't you? Kilo?
Yes.
Where are we? Alex does.
No, I
You
did.
just asked one.
And Josh, you better be around so that you can win that Grammy with us.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. I'll take the pictures.
Right on.
Now
What
for the
happened?
awkward moment of the show.
I know what just happened. Everybody was like,
We all just had a moment.
Everybody act frozen right now.
I just looked up and everybody is like silent and not moving. I was like, what did I do? Oh my God, that's funny. Well, anyway, I mean, it is getting, we're approaching 2 hours now, and
Yeah.
I have
That is
work
why
to do.
I was being silent, Bob, because it's nobody else's turn, but you seem to think it is.
Oh, I
Silent Bob.
apologize.
Silent Bob is from a movie.
Well,
Jay
yeah,
and
it's from
Silent Bob.
Clerks. 'Cause
Mhm.
Silent Bob is Kevin Smith, who I
Mhm.
think is my secret half brother. We're like exactly the
Well,
same
your
age. We're both
So
secret-
from
you
North
thank
Jersey.
him when you win your Grammy or
Yeah,
Emmy.
my dad got around a bit, so I think he could be
Oh,
Kevin
man.
Smith. Kevin Smith could be my brother. But I
Well,
was born. I mean, literally, if you look up, he's like our birthdays are like a couple weeks apart, and we're both. I was born in Englewood, and I think he's just
Oh,
like
wait,
a few
Josh
miles away from
didn't
there.
actually answer. Josh jokingly answered the question. Josh, would you like, is he sleeping?
No, I'm
Oh.
just slowly getting exhausted.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no, we
fine.
been a
gotta, we
long
gotta
day.
call it.
Yeah.
Do you have
Um,
an answer, Josh?
You did.
I would probably think my sister's Frenchie, because I like to say he's ugly and he's just the meme in my life. Obviously like my mom. And then probably like you guys, and then like my professor who like literally forced me to not let me quit school.
That's-
Good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is definitely one, bro.
Right
Yeah,
on.
he was he was just like, dude, you only have like a year left, 2 years left. I was like, that's too long. And then yeah. But he's actually made me like the musician I am today, so I couldn't have done it without him.
That's awesome.
Yay. To
Okay,
teach
on
know.
that note, guys, I'm going to say good night to the people watching.
Yes.
Feliz
Yes.
Navidad.
Good night.
Yes. Feliz
Thanks, everybody.
Navidad. All right, everybody. See you later.